Hello, beautiful Starseed Light Warrior family. How are you all doing today? Thanks for joining me on my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I appreciate your stopping by to watch my videos. And I do not monetize these. I do not make money off of them. This is my service to humanity project, is doing these educational videos and teaching you important information for your spiritual growth journey. So that's what I do. I'm here to teach you and assist you. And then my day job, of course, is counseling people, doing private sessions and soul readings and healing with people and teaching classes and that type of thing. That's the day job. But my what you call my nonprofit kind of work here is doing all these videos that I put a lot of time into. So hopefully you appreciate them. And if you want to donate, there is a link down below to donate to me, either by PayPal or I think Square or a couple other sources that I have listed. But anyways, today I am going to be dropping a lot of information. I'm actually going to be giving you the rundown on a lot of different facts and information that's really important for you to know and to understand. And some of this comes right out of my book, Ascension 101. I'm actually going to be reading to you portions. By the way, it is the holiday season, and one of the most inexpensive gifts you could give somebody that is inexpensive money-wise, but it's actually priceless, is the gift of education and information to help people on their journey. Both of my books, The Real Fountain of Youth and Ascension 101, are essential books for anyone who is newly awakened, or even people who've been awake for a long time who want to learn some new concepts and ideas. And they're only about $20 or something like that on Amazon. They're both on Amazon. And I highly recommend, if you have family who's just woken up, the Ascension 101 is like absolutely essential, because it's literally like the spiritual Bible. In fact, several people told me I should rename it the Spiritual Bible, because I cover every type of spiritual topic that's important to you, from what is God to what is your soul, densities, vibrational frequency, how to raise your vibration, how to be happy the rest of your life, how to all about the shadow self and the dark night of the soul and reincarnation and all these different concepts. So anyways, so today what I'm going to be talking about with you all is I'm going to be talking about the difference, and this is stuff I've actually talked about before on this channel. So if it seems a little redundant to you, sometimes you need a refresher, that's okay. There will be some new information for you on here, even if you heard this before. I have talked about the densities in the past, but that was probably a couple of years back. And since then, I've gotten probably several thousand new subscribers on YouTube. So this will be new for some of you, and for some of you, it may be just a refresher, but there will also be some other new information. So I'm going to talk about the difference between density consciousness, dimensions. I'm going to talk about the multiverse and what you all are doing while you're sleeping at night. Going to talk about parallel, what we call parallel universes or parallel realities versus timelines, different timelines. There are two different things you can have. A parallel timeline, it's not really a timeline, it's really more like a parallel version of us, which I'll talk about, versus like creating a new timeline. Creating a new timeline and having a parallel version of you is like two different things. So I'm going to write a couple notes here real quick just to make sure I cover this. 20. Okay. All right. Some of this might be hard for some of you to wrap your mind around, which is why you should probably read stuff like Dolores Cannon's The Convoluted Universe series and stuff like that, because in the books of the Law of One and some of the old Essene teachings, and going back in and studying maybe something like the Kabbalion and different ancient texts, the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedic texts out of India, and out of ancient Egypt, some of the mystery school stuff. You need to study all this to really understand and grasp fully all the stuff I'm going to say. I am not a scientist by any means. So the reason my book is called Ascension 101 is because of the fact that it's very basic. The language that I and that Yeshua gives to me, and that also that I give to everyone else, is very layman's terms, very basic, so that anybody can understand it. Because when I watch some of these videos with some of these quantum physicist guys and stuff, a lot of it goes over the top of my head, because I'm more of a right brain creative person. I'm not a left brain sciencey person. And so so today I'm going to try to make this as understandable as I can. But if you don't understand it, then you can go out to the internet and you can research. And I highly recommend getting Dolores Cannon's The Convoluted Universe series, because that's going to give you some of the best information that you can find. You can also, I'm trying to think who else might have it. There's a lot of people out there that have information on this kind of stuff. So I want to, first of all, let's talk about the difference between density and dimension. Now, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Dimension is a location. We are currently located in the third dimension, and we always will be. As long as you're in this physical body now in this life, you're going to be located in the third dimension. That's because all of these planets and all these star systems like Andromeda and Pleiades and all that in our star system are all in the third dimension, because third dimension was created as a classroom. Okay, there's other dimensions created as classrooms too, but third dimension is like the big grandiose classroom. So that's third dimension. Okay. Now, density is not a location. It's a consciousness level. It has to do with how evolved you are as a conscious spirit. It has to do with the evolution of the soul. It has to do with your enlightenment, whether you're a fully enlightened person or not, or you make it up to what we call ascended master or Yeshua Christ status, the Christ station of the Christ, which there's a lot of members of the station of the Christ, and there's Christ for each planet. Every planet has its Christed being. Yeshua is the Christed being for Earth, but there are Christed beings for all the planets out there. And the station of the Christ is a station of the Christ. So density consciousnesses, there are a total, let's talk about this. Well, first of all, there are 27 dimensions, and everybody's going to always ask me, where did you get that from? And people say it in kind of a rude and kind of pointy, kind of critical way. Where did you get it from? Where I get most of my information from is from my own higher self that knows all this stuff, because my higher self is billions of years old. But I also get it from Source Creator, and I get it from Yeshua, who is my main guide. He's with me all the time. And so if I don't know the answer to something, or my higher self doesn't know the answer, which my higher self doesn't know everything, I will go to him and I will ask him. So, there, according to him and my higher self, there's 27 dimensions. Those are location dimensions. We're in the third dimension. And then density consciousnesses, there are 13. So let me explain where we're at. Right now, we're at third density, most of the people. And when I say we, not myself. Where I'm at right now is I am mostly into 5D and a little bit into fourth density. So I'm a little bit in fourth density and mostly into fifth, because fifth density, which I'm going to read to you, is kind of the supernatural, where you have psychic abilities and your memories of who you were before you came. And I have a lot of that. I know who I was before I came here, and I know I don't remember every lifetime in full, but I know who I was before I came. I know what my mission is. And then I've got some of these psychic abilities. So I'm a little bit more into 5D, as well as a lot of other friends of mine who are similar to me, who know who they are and remember and have these abilities. We are a little more into 5D. And then the rest of us is in 4D. But the majority of humanity right now is 3D fear consciousness. Fourth density is like love and unity. And I'm about to read to you right out of my book a better description of these. And fifth density, of course, is I I call it the supernatural, but it's higher than that love consciousness. It goes even deeper. So let's talk about where the grays and the ETs and all the bad guys live and reside. So first of all, there's, like I said, there's 13 densities of consciousness, and the 13th is the what are called the creator gods. So when God, which is I am that I am, it's everything, and there's a better description in my book, Ascension 101, when that God decided to split off and experience itself in different ways and have different experiences, it made 190,000 creator gods, or what we call celestial beings. They reside in 13th consciousness level. Their 13th level, their 13D, 13th density consciousness level. And number 13 is also the number of the goddess. It was a number that was taken by the by the bad guys, and it was perverted. And I'm not going to go into the history of all that, of what they did with number 13, but number 13 was originally a very good number, and it still is the number of the goddess, or what we call divine mother part aspect of God. So the original creator gods, which are like demigods, there are 190,000 of them that were originally created, and they are 13th density. The next density down from that is actually the one that my higher self came from. I'm just a fractal of that higher self, or my body would explode all over the place. My higher self is an angelic protector of this planet, and came from 12th density consciousness, because the angels and archangels are 12th density consciousness. The Christed beings are like 10th, 11th density. And then you have high level extraterrestrials, which are 7, 8, 9, like the Arcturians, or I think like 8th and 9th density. They're very, very high density consciousness beings. They're just pure love. And then of course, you know, that majority of the humans on this earth right now are in that 3rd density, fear consciousness. And then the people who are awake and are loving, which I'll go into more detail in a second, are mostly in 4D, and then some are a little into 5D. So dimensions, there is a total of 27 different dimensions, and the one that we're in is 3rd dimension, heaven, which is where the angels, if you want to know, okay, well, where did the angels come from? Which dimension? Their angels are 12th density consciousness level, but they come from the 7th dimension. 7th dimension is heaven. That is heaven. So what we call heaven, 7th heaven, that's why you hear the term 7th heaven. Heaven resides in the 7th, sorry, I almost said 12th density. It resides in the 7th dimension. Okay, so 12th density beings come from, like angels, come from the 7th dimension. And then God itself, mother, father, prime creator, the one prime creator, it exists outside of all time, all space, all dimensions, all everything. Okay, it is everything, and it's outside of everything too. So if you ask me, well, what dimension or density consciousness is God? It's all of it. God is everything. God is I am that I am. So God is 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D. It's all of it, and it's outside of it as well. It's outside of all space and time, all dimensions, and it's inside. It's just everything. It's all of it. It's everything. So there's that. So let me get my book so you can see the picture of what my book looks like, in case you're not familiar with it. It's right here. Ascension 101. There it is. I'm going to read to you. So this is a description. This is right out of my book, Ascension 101. This is a description of people who are in the 3rd density consciousness level. Okay. They possess at least several or potentially all of the following attributes. They are egocentric and self-serving, narcissists, a lot of them. They are fear-based. Their behaviors and actions are based out of fear instead of love. They only give conditional love, meaning they only love you if you do something for them or serve them somehow. If you do not meet their expectation, they do not love you. They have a lack of compassion. They judge others and they judge themselves. They are competitive and self-righteous. They tend to be racist. They are not conscious of other people around them and do not care. They lack consciousness in general. They focus on blaming and shaming themselves and others. They have total lack of respect for themselves and other people and animals. They purposely do harm to other humans or to animals. They harm themselves in many ways, typically including abusing their bodies with addictions, prostitution, etc. They do not care for the earth and do not feel remorse about destroying the earth. They can be self-destructive or destroy other people and things. They identify with their physical body instead of their soul or spirit. They tend to be jealous, possessive, narcissistic, and mean. They are not accountable for their actions. They have a feeling of self-importance and think they are better than others. They live in a world of scarcity. They do not trust people and may not trust themselves. They're in a constant mode of flight or fight. These people are very materialistic. They place more emphasis on money and possessions than they do on relationships and other things that are much more important. And last but not least, they are emotionally charged by past and future, and they are always reactive. They react to everything. So now keep in mind, they could have one or more aspects. All those aspects are third density. So if you or anyone you know does any of these things, that's third density. And you want to stop now, because if you're in any of these descriptions, you're not ascending. When we all go to 5D and all of that, if you're doing any of this stuff, you're just not coming. You have to be 4D and higher. So let's talk about where you need to be. You need to be 100% fourth density or fourth density and into fifth density. And basically, like I say here in the book, I say, if you're reading this book, you're most likely primarily in the fourth dimension, or you may even be partially into the fifth dimension. Some of you may still have a little remnant of third that you're working on, and that is perfectly okay. If you have these little parts of 3 that pop up every now and then, as long as you are making a conscious effort to work on it and you're 51% or more service to others, then you're going to be okay. Okay, because like I've said over and over again, we are all on different journeys in our own time. So the fourth dimensional consciousness, you transition from egoic, fear-based reality to one of love. A spiritual awakening starts to happen and you start to expand your consciousness. You develop lots of spiritual questions and you begin to purge your negative emotions and false belief systems. Instead of focusing on your physical body only, you start to realize that you are not a physical body, but a divine spirit living in a physical body. Many physical changes can happen to you. You will begin to tap into collective consciousness. The most exciting part is that you will start to develop special abilities and have interesting paranormal experiences, including the following. You may start to see spirits or ghosts. You may experience precognition or telepathy. You could have out-of-body or astral travel experiences. You may see and feel energy. You may develop clairaudience or other clair-related gifts. You begin to realize that the world is changing around you. You may start communicating with your guides and angels or ETs and other types of beings. Service to others becomes important to you and you learn how to manifest. In general, fourth density humans see the importance of taking care of their bodies. The temple is the Holy Spirit. They also see the importance of taking care of other people, animals, and the earth. So fourth density is based on love. So you basically have transitioned from ego to just love, to, fear and negative ego, we should say, to love. Okay. So let's talk about fifth density. Fifth density, you become totally egoless. And when we say egoless, we don't mean the positive aspects of ego, because in order to be on planet Earth, you have to have some ego. But as I talk about in this book and many other things I've written, there are negative aspects to the ego and positive aspects. Negative would be like need for competition, backstabbing, having to be right, thinking you're more important or better than others, being a smart ass, being rude, disrespectful, all those kind of things are all negative aspects of ego. Cheating on people, having to look at yourself in the mirror all the time and think you're all that in a bag of chips, thinking you're God's gift to men or women, whatever. That's all ego. That's all negative ego. Caring about your body is positive ego, like being concerned about taking care of this vessel that we were given to hold the Holy Spirit. So eating a healthy diet, exercising, having good hygiene, all of that's all positive ego. So you may embody, if you're into fifth density, you're going to embody most, or if not all, of these attributes. Your main focus becomes on being of service to others all the time. All your actions are based on love, and you are in a state of unconditional agape love. And that's the kind of love that Yeshua was teaching. Gratitude becomes a daily practice. Compassion and forgiveness become part of who you are. You become completely self-realized. You know who you are and why you are here. You may have remembrance of many or all of your past lifetimes. You realize that you are limitless. Your physical body becomes much less dense. You feel like a big weight has been removed from you. You develop a unity mind and recognize yourself as part of a whole. We are all connected to each other. Manifestation is easy for you as you are constantly co-creating with Source. Instead of struggling like you used to, you just go with the flow of life. Duality and linear time dissolves. You really feel your timelessness. You have no need for status or possessions. You place all importance in your life on non-tangible things like relationships, love, service, and education, instead of the 3D focus on materialism. You are able to travel astrally, and you develop many psychic gifts. You live every day with purpose, and you have a close connection with Creator God, all animals, all humans, and all of creation. There are many other attributes to all of these densities, but I don't want to give you a brain overload. And I said the same thing in the book. I don't want to give you a brain overload. So these are just some of the things that I covered in this book. There's so much more to it. You could probably write a whole book just about the densities. So basically, we all came here to move humanity into the fifth density. And that is why we came here. Everybody who watches my channel, you're a starseed light worker, and you came here to guide all the humans on Earth into the fifth density. That's what you came here for. So that is what we are doing. So that is the difference between dimension, density, and consciousness. So let's talk a little bit about some stuff about the dimensions and the density consciousness. So first of all, I want you to know that all of the dark people who run this planet, all the humans, the bad guys who run this planet, all of the minions of the bad guys that run this planet are all third density and even lower. The gray extraterrestrials, known as the Nebu Grays, the ones who kidnap humans and sell us off into slavery or body parts, or kill us and eat us, or take our DNA and experiment on us and blah, 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 blah. They do bad things to us. Those grays are second density consciousness. They're not even third density consciousness. They're below. They're subhuman. They're like parasites. The reptilians, or the Draco, they're also second density consciousness. Okay. Then you've got like demons and parasites and archons and all them. They're like first and second density consciousness. Okay. So these beings have no capacity for love or compassion or kindness whatsoever. They don't even have a heart chakra. So all of the people who run this planet, you're, you know who they are. I'm not going to name them here because I don't want to get my channel shut down. I've had many warnings already from YouTube, But all of the guys that you see calling the shots and the 13 families and just all the bad guys running this planet, they're all like first and second density consciousness, and some of them might be third. But a lot, if they're a reptilian in a shapeshifter or a reptilian soul, they're going to be first, second density consciousness, maybe into third from time to time. So that's really, really important for you to know. The Pleiadians are fourth and fifth density, I believe. The Lyrans are a little higher density than that. The Syrians, so Yeshua the Christ came from Series B. The Syrians in Series B are like eighth density, ninth density. They're fairly high up there. That's basically just some ideas from you or for you of where people are. Now, it's important for you to know that the fourth dimension is very, very bad. That is where the dark void is. It's where there's a lot of bad stuff. So the fourth dimension is where Satan comes from. It's where Baphomet, Baal, Moloch, and a whole bunch of other bad guys come from. It's also the fourth dimension is also where the demons, the archons, the grays, the reptilians, all of these bad dark entities, they actually were created and come from the fourth dimension. It's where they thrive. And that is a location. Okay. That's not a consciousness level. Their consciousness level is 1, 2, 3. Their place that they were born and created, where they were created by Lucifer and Satan and other demonic beings, is in the fourth dimension, and that's where the demonic beings reside. Shadow people, archons, people like, the HAT man. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to attract that energy. Some of these names you can't say because it's not good. It attracts the energy. But, there's just a lot of these kind of things, your chupacabras and that kind of stuff. There's just so many of these entities, these negative dark entities that come from the fourth dimension. That's where they come from. Okay. So let's talk about you. Did you know that there's 21 other versions of you living in what we call parallel realities? So there are parallel universes or parallel realities that are like a copy of ours, but in each one you're doing a different thing. So there are there's 22 versions of you total, including you. There's 21 other versions of you, and in each one there's a different thing going on. And one version of you may be a short woman, and in the other one you may be a tall, skinny Native American, and there's different versions of you. It's you're still whoever you are, Bob or Lorna or Lisa or whoever you are, whatever your name is, you're still you, and you're still called by that name, but you look different, you are different, you're having a different experience. Okay. So those are parallel like universes where there's like you, but doing something, just something different. Then there's what you call timelines that are created, and those timelines are more of a future versus like a past. So in the parallel universes, those start at the beginning of your inception. Like the minute you're born, there's those versions of you in the multiverse in these different dimensions, whereas timelines are going more like from now into the future. So every time you make a choice, an important choice, like, do I take this career, or do I take this one, or do I leave my job, or do I take a trip to blah, 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 you're creating a new timeline with the future, whatever that current or future thing is, where in the future timeline, you're still working at your old job, or in the future timeline, you take job number A instead of B, C, or D. In the future timeline, the other parallel timeline, you're not married to your spouse, you're married to somebody else, and you have no kids, or you're just single, or there's just different versions of you, and it's you the way you look in those timelines. It's actually you. It's you 100%, same name, same person, same body, same hair, same eyes, everything. but it's from this point forward up until the future. It's the future that you're creating as you're making choices and decisions and you're doing things in your life. Whereas the 21 other versions, those are actually parallel universes that coexist at the same time as ours, going all the way back to like my birth. So there will be 21 other Kimberlys, and in one Kimberly version, I'm from Africa and I have really dark skin and I'm chubby. And in another version, I have blonde hair and really white, ghastly skin. And in another version, I'm a famous celebrity. And another version, I'm something else. So those are parallel universes. So now there is a TV show on Disney. I know a lot of you hate Disney, but it's important to go watch these Marvel shows because the Marvel shows are disclosing tons of truth like crazy. So Marvel has a Loki series, and they're showing you what I'm explaining to you, that there's all these different versions of you, different universes, different timelines. They actually show you the multiverse and they explain so much in that. I highly recommend you go in and binge watch season 1 and season 2, all of them. You will really understand what I am talking about if you go watch that. It's really, really important for you to see that, because they're disclosing so much info, just like the series Quantum Leap. Quantum leaping into people is a thing. I've been doing it forever. And yeah, you can do that. You can actually leap into someone and control what they do and what they say and how they behave and all that kind of thing. There's also, I'm trying to think what else, the Stargate movie and shows, we know that's real. There's Stargates all over the world that they have found that they use to get to different dimensions, as well as different universes and different star systems and planets and whatnot. We know that is real. There's just this whole plethora of this multiverse that we live in, and it's really kind of overwhelming to wrap my brain all around all of it, because it's so overwhelming, like to really deep dive into it and how it's created with sound. And it's created all of these universes, all these things that we live in are created from sound, frequency, vibration, energy, sacred geometry. That's what creates all of these. It's the building blocks of everything. And to wrap your head around it, it's very, it's like really, really, really overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And so that's why I highly recommend you go out and do your research. Don't just listen to Kimberly here, because what I know is such a tiny, I mean, I got rid of my ego, whatever that was, a long time ago. I don't know if I really had any, but I don't think I know it all. In fact, I know nothing. I mean, there's so much to learn in the universe. What I know is a spark. Am I an expert on certain subjects? Yes, because I've spent my whole life studying about specific subjects. And even then, I still don't know everything about those subjects. I'm still learning about them too. Like the work I do, I teach an energy healing workshop because I've studied a gazillion different types of energy medicine and energy healing. So I'm an expert in that field. Does that mean I know everything about it? Absolutely not. I'm learning new energy healing stuff like day to day, every day. So I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything. I know a tiny bit of what's in the universe. Like what I know compared to what there is in the universe is equal to 1 grain of sand. Okay. So think about the fact that there are so many planets out in space. There's more planets in space than there are grains of sand on Earth. And that's the amount of information out in the universe too. And I only have one of the grains of sand, just one. Okay. Every one of you has a different part of the sand. So now I want to talk to you about what are we all doing at night when we're sleeping. So a lot of you, if you're getting up in the morning and you don't remember anything you dreamed about, you have this feeling like, I know I was doing stuff all night long, but I just don't remember it. And I know it was scary and violent or this or that, and I just don't remember it. Or you wake up really, really exhausted in the morning, or you are remembering stuff. And here's what you're seeing. You're in different places that you've never been in your entire life. Like maybe you're in Jamaica, but you've never been to Jamaica. And you're seeing all these strange people that you've never seen before. Everyone in your dream is all strangers. You don't know any of them, like zero. chances are, if you're having these kind of experiences, and especially if you're waking up tired, it means that you are out of body traveling all night, and you're either astral traveling or you are fractaling like I do. I don't astral travel. I leave my soul in my body. A fractal of my consciousness goes out and has these experiences. And that's because my team knows that when your whole soul leaves your body, there are demons sitting around waiting to take it over. In fact, as of this moment, there are 300 billion demons on planet Earth, and they are attacking all of us regularly. They're also trying to destroy the planet and destroy us because they know that they're about to get wiped out permanently forever and recycled back to source. And they want to take as many of us with them as they can on their way out. So you need to be shielding up every day, asking your angels and Archangel Michael and Mother, Father God to place those bubbles of protection around you. And there's other techniques you can do. There's 12-layered shields. There's all kinds of shields. You can do double diamond shields, Kevlar, solid gold, and on and on and on, platinum, titanium. So many different types of shields you can ask for, but you need to be doing this daily because these critters are trying to take humans down. So if you are out traveling, you could be traveling in the multiverse. I do every night, all night long. I even time travel. I've time traveled back in time on this timeline that we're in this universe. I've time traveled. I go and I battle the bad guys. I battle demons at night. And that's because my higher self, which is this big creature that's like 10 feet tall with these huge wings, that's what we do. All of the angel armies and angels are all out there battling people all night long. That's what we do. Some of you have bodies in stasis pods. Like when I do a soul reading, because that's what I do during the day for people, I do soul readings. Some of my clients I'm doing soul readings for, they have a consciousness operating their body. You know, they have a spark of their soul operating their body, but their actual real body is in a stasis pod up on a galactic ship, like an Andromedan ship, a Pleiadian ship, you know, Lyran, whatever. And that's their true self. And then their consciousness is operating their human avatar. So if you watch the James Cameron film Avatar, you will understand that that is a real thing. You can take a person, put them in a stasis pod, take their consciousness and put it into another person and operate it. It's kind of like quantum leap. It's the same thing. Put a consciousness into somebody else. And so there's a lot of you watching me right now who you are actually an ET and you're here to help as boots on the ground. And so let's talk about why that is. So we're in third density consciousness right now, and the beings that are here to help us are much higher. They're like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9D. They can't physically be on this earth because it's too dense for them. It would make them sick, maybe kill them, or they'd blow up, or who knows what, because it's just too dense for them. So how they're able to assist us better is they stick their body in a stasis pod and they put their consciousness into a baby human, and they know their mission, or their mission's maybe locked up in their head and their memory was wiped and their mission will be given to them. Some of you come to me and say, I don't know what my mission is. And that's because you need somebody like me, another starseed, to activate you, or God to activate you, or a specific event in your life to activate you so you start to remember who you are and why you came here. But we all came here with the same mission. We are all part of the same team to save this planet. We are the second coming of Christ. We are bringing Christ consciousness back to this planet, and we are the ones that are saving ourselves and saving the stupid humans that have been locked down here under reptilian rule for thousands of years. So that is why we came here. And so some of you, you're probably traveling at night, and I'm not saying all of you, because I do have several friends who don't ever travel at night. Okay. I know a lot and there's still starseeds and light workers. They're just not doing that. So not all of you are traveling at night out of your body and doing work, whether it's rescuing kids in tunnels or saving lives, whatever, fighting battles out in space. There's some people that are leaving at night and fighting space battles, and they're remembering it when they come back in. And they're super traumatized. And some people are not remembering anything because their spirit guides and angels know that they'd be too traumatized if they remembered what they were doing at night. So they basically blank their mind out each morning when they come back into their body again. So the multiverse is huge. We are all part of it. I want you to understand that all of you are all multidimensional beings. Okay. We have all these different versions of us, experiences, timelines. We are multidimensional spirits having a human experience. And we're divine spirits that go on forever. You are not your body. And there is no death. Okay. That was a fake out that the reptilians taught us, was to believe that you die. You never die. You just get you can be transmuted into something different. So like the reptilians, a lot of them are going to be obliterated and recycled back to source. Do they ever really die? No, their energy is still there. It still exists. It just becomes part of source again. Because eventually we all join back up with source again, way into the future. So, I think that's all I wanted to say today. If any of you have any questions, please drop it down in the comments. If you have a question, I'll do my best to answer. And please contact me through my website, spiritualgrowthjourneys.com, if you would like a private session. I have my manifestation class now recorded. I did a manifestation class 3.5 hours long last Saturday. It was recorded, and you can now buy the manifestation class and take it. And what's nice with the recording is you can stop it and listen to it in 20-minute intervals or whatever you want to do. If you want to take a lunch break, you can re-listen to it as many times as you want. And that's on the website. And that's about all I have to say for now. And please like and share this video if you feel it helped you out at all. Thank you for supporting my channel. I love you all, and happy holiday season to everyone, whether you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever. I wish you all happy holidays, and sending you all love and hugs.